Hi guys, Elledani here. I had just recently tried Arctic Fox hair dye, which I'm absolutely thrilled with. I had been looking for an alternative for a long time. Arctic Fox in particular is cruelty-free, vegan, and very natural compared to other hair dyes. Most hair dyes have really harsh chemicals. They advertise heavily that they don't have peroxide, ammonia, or PPD. Paraphenylene diamine. And from what I gather, it helps to give hair a more natural look, and it also helps it to not fade. Well, I can tell you with the blue blacks and purple blacks I've used for years, every time I shower, I'm still shedding color, so that really doesn't matter so much. The dye also claimed to be deep conditioning while it dyed, which I was kind of interested to see how that went. And what I'm showing you here is just a screen recording. There is actually a section on the site specifically for unbleached hair, and that's something that was important to me. I really don't want to be bleaching. For one, I don't want to damage my hair, and I really don't have the time for that kind of multi-step dye job to have a whole night to bleach and then color and let it set. This purple rain, which I was looking for dark purple. I am fortunate to have like a medium blonde hair, so it takes color really well anyways. So after seeing this, the shade diagram in particular, I had high hopes that maybe it would work. And if you look for being unbleached, the color really took phenomenally well. Even down at my roots, those were not bleached whatsoever and picked up the purple really well. I'll also say that the night after I dyed it, I did it late at night, and my hair was still a little bit damp, and I fell asleep on a light pillowcase. I woke up in the morning and there was literally no dye on this pillowcase. Even with my normal hair dye not being fresh, sometimes there'd be like a little bit of leakage in the color, which did have these harsher chemicals in it that was supposed to prevent that. This one did not. I won't say it is completely free of rubbing off on anything because I have had it a couple times when I'm washing my face or when I'm putting like toner or various products on, a little bit's coming off. But I can tell you in the past, even using raw hair dye, my fingertips and my ears were always like very purple. And at this point in time, they're really not at all. So I'm pretty impressed with the lack of purple I have everywhere, which actually I've been playing with my hair. My hands might be tinted a little bit, but I have been messing with it a lot and doing these videos, so there's that too, and there's product in it as well. So Arctic Fox is a semi-permanent. You literally just get the bottle by itself. You don't get anything with it like in box dyes. So you do need a few other things. Gloves is a big one. I've seen so many people over the years, including me when I was in like junior high, go without gloves. Your hands will be stained in purple for weeks. It doesn't come out. So definitely don't do that. You also want typically some kind of brush. This just makes it a lot easier to get into your hair and also to like separate and part over, which I'll get into that a little bit too. You need some kind of bowl. They do sell dye bowls. I literally just used a glass bowl and it worked great and was, I thought, easier to clean. If you can, they're a few bucks, you can get a cape just like a hairdresser would use. This is going to protect you more than you actually know. You can use a towel. It's easier if you have the vinyl cape to protect your shoulders from getting full of dye. I also keep like a small washcloth that's a little bit damp for like wiping areas on my skin. So the minute it goes on, I can get it off. A lot of people use Vaseline and they go all the way around. I have absolutely never done that. I feel like it sounds like a mess to get rid of. So I've always just done that method, but it is recommended to put Vaseline on your ears and your hairline. So essentially, I start and I go all the way around my hairline, and then I do my part, and then I go in about inch to half-inch sections all the way around, putting hair dye all the way down, and then I go through the back and do the same thing. I do have a little bit of help once I'm done with the back, that I just kind of pick through it and have Ragnar look and just see that I'm not missing anything, which I've been doing this for so long, I'm usually pretty okay, but it's always good to have somebody there to just check the back for you if you're doing it yourself. once I had this dye on, I put a cap over it. And then I applied heat with a hairdryer and a diffuser for about 20 minutes just to heat it up. It does help to activate it and help the dye to set in. I want to say I let it sit for about an hour after that. The girl at the store told me I could sleep in it, which I've heard a lot of people do. Sounds like a huge mess to me, so I'm really not ever gonna sleep in hair dye. The hour I did get a lot of color. I had my hair dyed purple black. My inches were probably about an inch and a half down, and there's not even like a solid point where you can see the definite change in color, which worked out really nicely too. So if you're looking for a inexpensive, I think this was 8 ounces for like $17 at Sally's, and I have long hair. I covered the whole thing and I used maybe about half this bottle. So I think that's pretty good for the size and how much hair I have and how much I covered it. More gentle. I definitely recommend it if you're looking for a more gentle and ethical dye. Also, just the fact that they have a whole section dedicated to dyes that work well with unbleached hair. For a lot of people, it's important not to have to strip their hair and bleach it. I have used Manic Panic, I have used Raw, I have used Splat in the past. I think that they're all inferior to Arctic Fox. And again, I'm not sponsored. I just really, really like this dye and what it did for me. So if you're looking for it, definitely go this route. Thanks for watching, guys.